So our plan with this is really to, while we're here, this is our next project. So our plan is to redevelop this property, and this will be our biggest and best redevelopment that we've ever done. So it's 1,300 square feet now, 4 bedrooms. We would like to add a couple ADUs. I think we can pretty easily add 2 ADUs, redevelop the main house, pushing out the kitchen and living room, an addition above the living room area.
Welcome back to The Broke Billionaires, where we document our daily struggles in building wealth while raising a young family. Join us as we talk creative wealth building for everyday people and couples that are struggling in a down economy. I'm Lauren.
And I'm Joshua Masari, and we'll be your hosts.
Welcome back after a little break.
Yes, it was an unintended skip week, I guess you could say.
Yeah, we had a lot going on. I'm not even going to say a little bit.
We still don't have a studio set up.
Sitting on the couch in the living room, in our new living room.
Cords going everywhere.
Cords literally everywhere. Computer screen set up on the fireplace. Yes. We are a DIY podcast at the moment.
Well, we always have been.
That's true, but we're even more so.
Definitely improvising right now.
Even more so.
Hey, this is better than our first episode with the fold-up table and all the blankets wrapped around so we weren't bouncing off the walls. And
the moving blankets.
All our really, really crappy equipment. Not that we have great equipment, but we've definitely improved since episode 1.
I forgot about that. So we did take an unintended break last week just with our move, which we'll get into. Really, tonight's episode is just going to be kind of updating on that whole situation. Before we jump into the updates tonight, though, we really wanted to just send prayers and our thoughts that are just going out to all the victims in Central Texas with these floods. We have family members out in that area, thankfully unaffected. We have a previous guest that's been on the show who's they're safe, but they've had some properties affected, and obviously the Camp Mystic is just, as a mom, it's really, I'm gonna get choked up. Just really, really devastating.
Yeah.
So our hearts go out to all of them and all the families that are affected by this.
Yeah, and thanks to everybody that is reaching out and helping the affected in the area. I know Vivian and her husband that were on the show, they're taking supplies and getting them up to areas that don't have supplies right now. And, just everybody coming together to help. I mean, they're still looking for people.
Yeah.
This is it's really, really, really devastating. And
unimaginable.
It's crazy that something like this can happen. I mean, I don't know how a flood like this can happen. Yeah. It just doesn't make sense. Like, they're saying this is like a once in a 1,000-year flood, but still, like, I just don't understand how, if you're in a floodplain, like, how did this happen? How has it not rained this much in the last 1,000 years to where this happened? It's just,
that doesn't make sense.
Doesn't add up, but it's crazy that something this catastrophic can still happen in today's world, just the way we have, things. We know the floodplains, we know, things are built to withstand this sort of thing, you would think, but, it is what it is. So it's just people having to deal with this is very, very unfortunate.
Yeah, definitely.
Kind of puts things in perspective. Our things that we are going through that we think are really, really bad aren't really that bad.
Yeah, I agree very much so. Well, let's jump into some updates tonight.
Lots of
updates. As I'm sitting here drinking a Spindrift because I dropped the one bottle of wine I picked up at Trader Joe's today that I was so excited to try. It's the last bottle that this influencer posted, Trader Joe's list. She always has great stuff. was unpacking the bags and shattered the second bottle or second piece of glass this week. I do not recommend shattering a wine bottle on your floor because now our kitchen floor smells like a bar. It's great.
And there's glass everywhere.
But my spindrift is good. It's also Bobby approved, which I didn't realize.
What does that mean?
Bobby Parrish. We haven't talked about him.
What does that mean? Who does that mean?
Oh, he goes around and I think he's a nutritionist. I'll have to actually double check. But he goes around to like Costco and different grocery stores and reads and points out labels of what is like clean ingredients. And he has an app and you can scan anything and it will tell you if it's Bobby approved. And if it's not, it highlights why it's not. So I've been scanning everything for months. I can't believe I haven't told you about this. But Spindrift is Bobby approved. So I feel better drinking it.
So it's on the granola app?
Yeah. Yeah, sure.
Not a bad thing.
Not a bad thing at all. So the main update, we moved. We've been talking about this for what seems like forever. We are officially moved. I can't say we're settled.
Definitely not settled.
Definitely not settled. We moved on the anniversary of the day we met 12 years ago.
Yeah, it's funny because we were moving. Well, we also had another move on the same anniversary weekend that was popping up in my feeds. Or I think both of our feeds.
No, that just popped up. That was closer to our wedding. The townhouse.
I don't know why it popped up. It was like
it was really random.
All these memories from this house and kind of back then. So this house that we just moved into was the house that I purchased before we met back in 2011. So it was my first California purchase, and it's been a rental property for the last 9 years now with a long-term tenant. And we kind of came full circle, and we're back here again.
So this is where Josh lived when we met, and we've had a lot of memories here. A lot of good memories, but it is weird being back. It's
also a very small house that we moved to.
It's so small.
We kind of keep downsizing. So we went from 3,300 square feet. Technically, I mean, the house we were in is 2,800 and we were renting the ADU. The ADU was another 400 square feet, but we went from 3,300 square feet to 2,200 square feet or 2,300 square feet to 1,300. We just keep going backwards.
Adding family members, downsizing the home.
And spending a lot of money on these homes, each one we stop at. We move into these, we're doing these live-in renovations, spend a lot of money on them, make them beautiful homes. They're all $2 million homes, $2 million plus homes when we're done with them. And then we literally move out as we're finishing construction and somebody moves in the next day. Every single time.
And you wonder why people say that we're crazy.
Well, I don't really wonder. I mean, I get it.
Yeah, it's true. It's pretty obvious.
Just a quick disclaimer. The information shared on this podcast is for informational purposes only and should not be considered as financial, tax, or legal advice. Always consult with a qualified professional before making any financial decisions. Your individual circumstances may differ and require specific strategies not discussed here. Now, let's get back to the show.
This one hit me a little harder though. A lot harder.
Why is that?
I think with this one, when we originally bought this one, we thought we would be living here for a couple years.
And you're talking about the one we just moved out of.
Right.
So the project we've been talking about that we just finished up.
Yeah. We thought, because that's kind of been our game plan, right?
Technically, we had it for a couple of years, almost 2 years. It was under construction the whole time.
That's true.
We planned on living it for 2 years, and we had it for 2 years.
Well, yeah, we didn't live in there for even a full year, based on everything.
No, we were right at a year. Well, we moved out. Yeah, not really, I guess. Kind of in and out.
Well, okay, so yes, our whole.
The original plan, this is the timeline that we were actually probably planning on moving, but
that's true.
It wasn't supposed to be under construction the whole time.
Right. We weren't supposed to flood halfway through and
run out of money halfway through and
a lot of things. So yes, our whole, what's the word I'm looking for? Blueprint, basically, of what we do is obviously we buy a house, renovate it, live in it for a little bit, and then we rent it out, right? That's kind of what we've been doing. So that was the plan for this one. Once we had our flood and we were spending our time on Balboa Island, we loved that so much. So then that kind of put a little bit of a change in our plan. And we thought maybe we should go back to Balboa for a little bit if we could find a good rental, or if we couldn't. And I think we were both okay being in a smaller, older home down there because it's somewhere we love. The location was great. We were okay with that. Or it was to move on to the next house and redo it and keep kind of we have been decreasing in size, but hopefully the goal would be to increase in size and work towards being in a home longer term than we have been, right?
And I mean, we got a family of 4 now. We have a 6-week, 7-week, almost 8-week-old.
Yeah.
Almost 2 months. That went by fast, but
yeah, it did.
So we just did this move with a newborn as well, which is fun. So we hadn't been sleeping up until the move, and then really wasn't getting any sleep during the move because I was also finishing up construction as we were moving, getting ready to move. I mean, up until a few days after we moved, I was still working on the house and little things. Somebody else had moved in. There was still a few things that needed to be done. There was 3 permits on the, well, I guess two permits on the 3. We had the main house, and then we had another city permit for the outdoor kitchen area, the outdoor entertaining kitchen area. And then there was a 3rd permit, which was for the meter upgrade. The last permit, well, the main house was signed off about a month before we moved. And then the outdoor kitchen was signed off about a week before we moved. And the meter upgrade, which was a big ordeal, it was probably the hardest permit to get completed and approved. And it was it was a 15-minute job. It was so stupid. But that one, I think, got approved the day we moved.
I think Enrique was there.
I think it was the day
he was there a lot. Yeah.
I think it was the morning that, well, we moved
on a Saturday.
I
don't think he was there that day. He came Friday, and he was asking about the dirt.
But then he wanted to come back because there was some rocks in the way, and he wouldn't approve it.
Yeah, I told him it would be clear by Tuesday.
And so he came back, and
I think he came back Monday.
But we had already moved by then, right? Or was this the week before?
No, that was the week we moved.
So we were still there?
Because people were moving in Tuesday, so I told him it would be done Tuesday.
Oh, yeah. So we literally got the final permit signed off the morning, either the day before or the morning of somebody moving in. So really down to the wire. But I think the goal, because we've got 4 kids now, would be to settle down, whether we buy a house, do this again, and just settle down in this one, or we go to Balboa, which is where we are thinking we may want to end up. We rent a house on a semi-long-term goal or plan, and then we keep buying houses, but we don't ever move into them. It's just straight buy, fix, and then rent.
The living in a doing this is getting I think we might be tapped out on that.
It's getting tough.
But to go back to your question, the reason it was so much harder this time is it was a bigger project than what we had done before.
Much bigger.
Like much, much bigger. And we fully designed, yes, the last house we designed for us, but this one, we were very, very thoughtful with how we were designing it. And
well, the last house wasn't as in-depth. I mean, we did a lot of cosmetic stuff. We did a kitchen and bathrooms and stuff.
But the layout didn't work for us in that house.
And we didn't change anything.
We didn't change it.
So this one, we completely just scrapped everything, took it down to the studs, kept the main layout, but we kind of rebuilt it from the ground or from the studs out.
Yeah.
So we did move around walls and took out walls and added walls, and we really, I think we did a phenomenal job. I think we did a really good job with taking the spaces and redesigning it and making it much more functional than it was. adding the little half butler's pantry.
Yeah, that was such a good idea.
I think that was huge. That gave us so much more storage and didn't really take up that much room in the great room. So that was huge. Obviously, removing the wall between the kitchen and the living room and just opening up that space was a huge
Adding
undertaking.
The powder bath.
Adding a half bath and then the master bathroom, rearranging the whole bathroom to just make
Closet
it so much more functional. We created a walk-in closet, which didn't exist before, and didn't really lose. I don't feel like we really lost any room in the bathroom.
No, I don't.
Because it was a bathroom / closet before.
It was weird.
So it was a little bigger, but the shower was tiny. And now we got this really big shower in there. I think we did a really good job. There's a few things I would have done differently looking back at it. But overall,
what would you have done differently?
I don't remember, but I remember there was some things that I did wrong. Oh, the butler's pantry, pocket doors.
Oh, that wasn't your fault though.
It is because I was the contractor, so I'm the one that should have caught the mistake. So between the framers and the carpenter doing the door, and me not catching the mistake, we ended up with a door that was a little smaller than it should be by like 12 inches, and so you couldn't really get to the whole inside of this. The door didn't open wide enough.
As functional as we thought it would be.
Yeah, the space is still there and it's functional, but it's hard to get to. So
our children could get to it wonderfully. Yeah. Us, on the other hand.
But I mean, like that. That's like minor things that we did.
Yeah.
The other thing is, I would definitely. So I put new subfloors in. I did the subfloors myself. I had a little bit of help from my brother, but I did a lot of them myself too. But all the upstairs floors completely redid it because it had like 1/2 inch, old plywood that was just squeaky and moving around, and I ripped all that out and I put in 3/4 inch subfloor, so it's solid. But when we did the insulation, I didn't insulate between the top and the bottom floors, which I wish I would have done because there's some, like, you can hear in the bedrooms down below, there's definitely some noise from people walking above, which it would have been really easy when it was all open to just insulate that, and it wouldn't cost that much more. It might have cost a couple $100. If I would have known it was an issue, I for sure would have done it. But looking back, that's one thing. And I think also, if we were in with that everything open like that again, I think I would insulate the interior walls, at least for the bedrooms, just to make them more soundproof and private. I think that would have made sense while everything is open.
Yeah.
So little things like that. Not a huge deal, but just little things that I would have done a little differently in the design.
But I think too, when we look at it, like, we designed it so perfectly for our family with the, like I said, going back to like being very thoughtful with like storage and just everything having a place in a home based on what we were bringing into it. And so leaving that, there's a couple of factors. The downsizing is a big one. The home we're in now is still 4 bedrooms, which is great, but they're very, very small bedrooms. They're very, very small closets. There's not a lot of storage space. And so as a family of 6, that has been challenging to get acclimated to a small space. A very, very small kitchen coming from a very large kitchen. And it's
at least that's nice.
It is nice. We did redo it. So
it was redone right before I moved out. So, 10 years ago, it was and it's still in really good shape. The previous tenants took really good care of the house. So it's decent. The bathrooms were updated. One of them was done, but that was I do better work. I've done better.
Your craftsmanship has come a long way since you did this.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But the house that we did, so we redid it with us in mind. So we have all the shower heads are super tall because we're tall people. So they're all like raised up real high. We like raised up all the ceilings that we could raise up and just really opened everything up. Yeah. Everything's for tall people. We did that for a couple reasons. One, you don't usually see that, especially in older homes. 2, it's just more convenient, more comfortable. And we wanted something that not only we could enjoy, but other people could enjoy too, because I don't think that's a bad thing for anybody.
Yeah.
But we were also like, if we ever got stuck in this house and had to live here long term. We wanted it to be comfortable and be something we were okay with. So, we did, your outdoor champagne trough thing. That was not something that we would normally do on just a rental property. That was kind of a personal touch that we never got to use, but
we did.
Oh, did we? Okay.
We used one time.
Okay, we did use it one time. Didn't get to use the barbecue, though.
Did not get to use the barbecue.
We used the fire pit once for...
We put a pause on moving to do a quick little pizza party.
We did that.
I am too. Took some convincing for me, but...
And I mean, there's other things that we did too, specifically that we would never do on, for example, if it was a flip, like the AC that we put in there was a very expensive air conditioning system. It had 3 zones. It's a really high-end unit. It's quiet. It's a variable speed, so it does a really good job of cooling and maintaining a temperature cost efficiently. So it's very, very efficient to run. And we knew that we were going to be renting this as a furnished rental, or at least that was the plan. And in that sort of setup, we cover all the utilities. So we wanted this to be low cost, low maintenance, because we knew we were going to hold this property long term and be covering these utilities. So we wanted to make sure that it was efficient to operate. So things like that, we spent $30,000 on a system that we maybe could have got something for under 20. We could have saved $10,000 on the system, but it would cost 30 or 40% more to operate in the summertime. So over the next couple of years, we'll end up making our money back on just the efficiency part of it. And in the long run, we'll actually save money on our utilities because of how efficient that system is. So that's another kind of touch that we did that, a flipper's not going to do something like that because they don't really care. They just put a new system in it and do the cheapest one. And most people buying don't know the difference and just like, oh, it's a new AC. Like there's a big difference. There's a big difference. You start looking at SEER ratings and you start, especially we've been operating these for a while now. We have another property with the same system. It's way more efficient to operate. In these big houses, it costs us less to heat or cool a big house than a house half the size. Like this one we have now is 1,300 square feet. It probably costs more to cool this house than it does our house that's twice the size because of the system.
Yeah.
So things like that make a big difference. And when we're doing midterm rentals, we need to think about our operational costs, and that's a big part of it.
Yeah, definitely. I think when you moved out of this house, this was always like our rock bottom house. So we definitely did not design it with a family in mind.
Well, we've also hit rock bottom, so that's kind of why we're here.
It is. It is. Hopefully this will not be a long term.
Yeah.
We'll see.
But, I mean, this house, I paid a fourth of what this house would sell for now. And the interest rate is sub 4. I think it's like 3.7% or something like that. So it's a very low carrying cost, and we will be able to live here for the interim very affordably.
It's definitely the best case scenario in terms of our options when it came to moving.
Yeah. And funny enough, like the kids love it here. We came from a big house, brand new house, nice house.
They love any house we go to because it's new.
Yeah, but I was a little worried because we just made the other one all nice and new, as Braxton would say, and they have just been really receptive to it, and they're just very excited, and they are loving it, and they're playing outside more here, which is kind of funny. They just, I don't know. I feel like it's been okay. Everything has been okay.
There's definitely some really positive things about the neighborhood, and the house itself has a great yard, and definitely some good things.
Yeah, I mean, I know all the neighbors, all the same neighbors from when I lived here before, so it's just nice having that. And there's a lot of new families in the overall neighborhood, which we're already kind of getting plugged in after going to the 4th of July parade. That was our first day here.
Yeah.
Our first weekend here. And, I think it'll be good. So our plan with this is really while we're here, this is our next project.
But not not in the same way.
Yeah, this is going to be a bigger project. But we don't plan on living here while it's going on. We will move out to our next location.
We will not be living here while this is going on. No, we don't plan to. We will not be.
Well, we didn't plan on doing that in any of the other ones either. So.
No, but I'm putting my foot down on this one.
That's what you said the last time.
Yeah, I'm really putting my foot down on this one. We're not doing it.
Anyway, so our plan is to redevelop this property, and this will be our biggest and best redevelopment that we've ever done.
But that's not going to be for way down the line.
You say way down the line, like, what does that mean? I'm talking
biggest and best, that's like a full teardown. We're not going to...
No, but this will be our most valuable property when we're done with it in the next couple of years. So it's 1,300 square feet now, 4 bedrooms. Our plan is to get plans done and see what we can get approved to the city, but we would like to add a couple ADUs. I think we can pretty easily add 2 ADUs, one above the garage and one in the backyard. The backyard's got this portion and that's kind of separated off from the rest of the yard. So it doesn't really take away from the main house yard where the kids play. It's just kind of like bonus space. So it'll be a good ADU section. And we're also going to redevelop the main house, making it bigger, pushing out the kitchen and living room. There's a carport area that we'll be able to expand the bathrooms into.
That is not a carport.
Whatever, patio.
It's a covered patio.
Yeah, whatever. Covered patio.
There's no way a car
What is a carport? Is a covered patio. It's the same thing.
Yeah, but you can park a car there. You can't park a car in ours.
That is a good point. But the kids have their car.
No way
all their cars are parked there right now, so it's their carport. But that's that'll make the bathrooms, because the bathrooms here are tiny. At least the master bathroom is tiny. So we'll be able to redevelop the bathrooms, and then we'll also be looking to do an addition above the living room area, and that'll probably become the master. I think that'll be like a master. We'll probably put a bathroom up there and do a bigger master, because the master here is not that big.
Primary, I think, is the correct
primary. Yeah.
PC way of saying that.
So it'll be upstairs with a view outside, and it'll have a really cool curb appeal, this house. And, so when this is all done, if we were able to do what we want to do and can figure out how to pay for it and get through it, this
while not living here.
This will become the house we just finished is kind of our pride and joy right now. It's a beautiful home.
Well, yeah, each one we finish is our pride and joy.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is that we're going to take our worst property and we're going to make it our best property. This one will be worth more than the other 2 properties, because it'll take it to probably about 3,000 square feet. It'll all be completely redone, so it'll be a brand new rebuild. And it'll have 3 units, a 5-bedroom main house. That's probably about 2,500 square feet.
This is about the time where he has these plans where I roll my eyes at him and I say it's not going to work, or I don't understand it.
And what happens?
I will say most times it does work out.
It does work out.
It does. So I will give you that.
So if this house is zoned for single family, I did look into this. If we can get it rezoned as a multifamily, we can add up to 8 ADUs.
We are not doing that. No.
I'm just saying.
No, we're not making a multifamily in a neighborhood like this.
It would not be a multifamily. It'd be multifamily zoning, but it would still be a main house.
I'm not going to have
a bunch
8
of ADUs.
separate. No.
What do you care? You don't live here.
No, because your neighbors care.
Maybe they don't.
No, we're not doing that. You're taking it too far.
Okay. Anyway.
This is where I have to bring him back down to earth.
That's what you said about the last time, and then we actually did it.
Yeah, but not 8 of them.
Well, it was 4, but you said there's no way, and we figured it out.
No, we're not doing 8.
All right.
I'm definitely...
We'll talk about it later.
We're not talking about that later. I'm definitely drawing the line with that.
Anyway, so we got moved in. We're not settled. We're trying to figure out how to furnish this because we're still broke. But we don't have to make a $12,000 mortgage payment anymore on the project house, so that's nice.
Yeah.
That's being covered. So that's a win. It's a big win.
It's a big win.
Because to be honest, we weren't going to be able to make another mortgage payment. We stayed there longer than we should have.
Which you have been saying that for the last 6 months, and somehow you've figured it out.
Well, we've been pulling money and robbing Peter to pay Paul, and somehow, but there's nothing left to rob. We were literally up against the wall.
We're fully bled out.
We've been bleeding money, and we were fully bled out, and there's no way. There's nothing left to. Well, we might have been able to pay it, but the mortgage would have been very late, and that's not a mortgage I wanted to be late on.
Yeah.
All of our other mortgages are late.
Everything's late.
So now we're just trying to
very late.
Trying to get going back in the right direction, getting everything caught up. And I never thought I'd be in a position where I had a late mortgage payment. And all of a sudden I've got lots of them now.
Never thought I'd be in a position where my credit score is as low as it is, but here we are.
Yeah, we used to fight about, or we'd have a competition to see who had the highest credit score. And it's still a competition, but it's really who can not have the lowest more than who can have the highest. It's like,
yeah,
who's not getting beat up the most?
Yeah.
So we're going to have a fun time repairing our credit and trying to get everything back on track, because the project that we just moved out of, that's got to be refinanced by January, and not really able to do it with current credit scores. So we will be doing a DSCR loan, which is why we needed to get that renting. Needs to be a rental property in order to do that and show rental income. So we'll have that portion covered. It'll be a little tricky since we are doing midterm rentals. Not all banks take that sort of income. So unless we get lucky and get a 6-month contract in place, which would be ideal, because then any bank will accept that. We're going to have to do an alternative bank, and it's going to be a higher interest rate. We'll still be able to get it done, I think, but credit score is going to have to get up in order to get that, because they do have a credit, even though it's not based on your credit and it's not in your name, they still use your credit score, and there's like minimum requirements. They don't want to see that you have 5 late mortgages, which we currently have. So we got to get all of our mortgages caught up and get everything back on track in order for them to view us as a credit-worthy borrower.
This podcast may be turning into what not to do instead of...
Or we're living up to the name, the Broke Millionaires. We're still, I mean, the funny thing is that through all this and through ruining our, credit's going to shit. Pardon my language, but
it's not really going. It is there.
It's there.
It's there.
We don't have money. We are broke. Everything has gotten worse. It's not gotten better. It's gotten worse. I mean, things should start getting better now, but it's gotten worse. There's a lot of capital events that we have coming that we're in the pipeline. So we're gonna get through this, but until those happen, it's just it's been a struggle. But
let me just say that I have never had so many creditors. I've never had creditors calling me.
I get probably a dozen a day.
I'm at easily a dozen a day.
Yeah.
Easily, over and over and over again. Regardless of if I pick up and explain the situation, they call me again the next day. Nothing's changed.
But what I was trying to say is we are the Broke Millionaires. That's the name of the show. Through all this, going more broke, destroying our credit, all the stuff that we've gone through financially, trying to get through this other project. Everything. I mean, we put everything we had into that just to get it done, and we got there. We got it done. But even though things have really gotten bad for us, we are still building wealth. Our wealth is more than it was when we started the show. We finished this project. This project is done now. This project, the house that just sold a few houses down, the one across the street, the new comps that we're getting in this neighborhood. The house is worth, our goal was to have it be, the ARV be at 1.85. If we were to put that on the market now, it would sell for 1 or 2.1.
Yeah.
And these other houses that are selling for close to that are not redone as much as it, and they're not permitted.
They don't have permits. That's for sure.
So ours is a much, much better product. And so we would have and ours looks better. I mean, the curb appeal on it, it is a bad
so much
house.
So that our across the street neighbor tried to rip off our design.
We've got this house is gorgeous. It's for the neighborhood. It fits. The There's some other houses that are nice houses in the neighborhood, but
we'll put up the Airbnb listing.
Yeah, I mean, out of all the houses in the neighborhood that are like on the top end, we're probably like the top 10 in the neighborhood of houses to see. Like it's definitely a super cool house, super nice finishes, and the curb appeal. I mean, I'm glad we ended up switching to the black.
Are you?
James, yeah, I think it came out really nice. I like it. I'm proud of it. I'm happy.
Glad to hear you say
I'm happy
that.
we found the paint that supposedly won't fade. That was a big deal to me.
We'll see about that.
Hopefully it holds up. There
was something I was going to say when you were on that tangent just now, and I was like, I won't forget it, and I just forgot it.
And moving out of this, I mean, we were down to the wire. Again, we've said this before, like doing things the way we do it is not the easy way. It's not the recommended way. I'm not telling people that this is what you need to do to build wealth because it's a terrible idea, but it works and it's building wealth for us. We were so down to the wire on this. We had it cleaned on a Monday afternoon. They were cleaning till like 7 or 8 at night. Mm-hmm. I left at like 7 to come feed the kids, and they were still there. I went back the next morning to meet the photographers because we had this rented already, and we didn't have pictures.
We made this mistake with the previous property that we did not get pictures done beforehand. I was like running around. I couldn't even get pictures just on my iPhone before they had moved in. This was the previous home.
Yeah.
So this time that was really important that
this time we finished it a day before, but we didn't have pictures. So the photographers came at 10 a.m. to take pictures. The guests were moving in that day. They were trying to get in there the day before. And we're like, no, like it's not cleaned. We don't have pictures. Like we've got to get this done. So I met the photographers at 10 o'clock. I think they finished up around 11:30.
You were running around
to take the pictures. There was I just took all the stuff I was finishing up construction, anything that we had left in the house. I just took it and threw it in the garage. And I'm like, you're not taking pictures of the garage, and it was packed full of stuff. I had my brother was in town while I'm trying to finish all this stuff up and everything. He's loading stuff from the garage into the truck.
I loaded up all 3 of our cars.
And we told the people they could move in around noon. We're like, we should be able to have it ready by noon. So I'm trying to get things ready for the photographer. He's loading stuff up into the truck, trying to get everything out of the house, out of the backyard, and we're just running around like crazy trying to get this all cleaned up.
So was I. What am I, chopped liver trying to load up the
No,
truck?
I'm just saying we were all running around. And we get the pictures taken, and literally right after that, we had to put the baby gates up because we wanted pictures without the baby gates.
Yeah.
They had kids coming in. We told them we put baby gates up. So we put baby gates. I installed those. I had to swap out the door handle because the door handle crapped out on us the day before they were moving in.
Yeah, the front door handle.
Oh, gosh. So I had to figure that out, and that was a real nightmare. So, and I don't think we finished around 1, but they didn't end up coming until later in the afternoon. So it kind of worked out, but it was a down to the wire again.
A little game that we like to play is how close can we cut it?
We do that a lot.
I will say I did feel like a weight was lifted off our shoulders that night when you came home and they were in, and we didn't have to keep doing the trips back and forth.
Just weight off in terms of, one, we were moved and we were done.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, not settled, but we were moved.
Still not settled.
The construction was for the most part done. So weekends, every single weekend, I've been working on this house every single weekend for the last 2 years.
And then before that, it was the other house.
Yeah, so it's been
for 3 years.
And then the financial burden, which is probably the biggest one, is just, I mean, when we took on this project, we didn't plan on losing our main income and having to carry this out so long. And, there was additional expenses and more carrying costs, and everything just, interest rates went up. So a lot of the carrying costs that we did have on our HELOCs and things, those went up. And so everything just everything went the wrong way on us on this project. But we got through it. And we are better off now because of it.
Well,
we're a lot better off. We would be in a lot of trouble if it wasn't rented right now.
Oh, if it was, yeah.
Yeah. So in that sense.
In that sense, yeah. Still, jury's still out on if this is all worth it or not.
Yeah, we'll see.
we'll see. It's currently not changed, so
Yeah.
not helping our day to day.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
Hey guys, if you're finding value or just want to follow along on our journey, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. That would help us tremendously. You can also follow us on Instagram at The Broke Millionaires and be sure to share with your friends. Now, let's get back to the show.
And then in other news, at the same time we were setting, so we were setting this up for rental at the very same time.
Oh, I was gonna say that is one thing. Also, don't recommend moving with 4 young children under 5 years old and also furnishing a home.
The one that you're moving out
The one
of.
that
So you
you're
have to
moving
move
out
your
of.
stuff out, and then you got to move other stuff in. And
So it's like not only were we moving and we weren't just like leaving the house empty, it's like, and you weren't just finishing up construction. It was like literally putting furniture together and fully furnishing a house.
Yeah.
That was one
There's
point
a
I
lot-
wanted to make too.
a lot going on for sure.
Yeah.
But not only that, at the same time, we had several other properties that we were also bringing online. We had a few
co-hosting.
We had a few co-hosted properties. Also had a neighbor in the new neighborhood that I had been talking to that does midterm rentals. They were having a little bit of trouble renting their house, and I made a connection with them and had some leads come in, and was able to refer over a lead and get set up with a marketing co-host connection with them. So I ended up filling the house right away for them. So that's good. They got that house filled, and we may end up co-hosting for them at some point. I don't know. We'll see. And there's a couple other ones we're setting up at the same time. And we also have our apartment complex in Texas. There was also we got a first booking on a unit there that was not set up, and that one might have been the first time that we actually didn't make it.
Yeah.
We're in California. This is in Texas, so we were ordering all this stuff, having everything shipped there. We've got a contact that we're working with, and a lot of things went wrong. Mostly not. So the contact, this girl that we've been working with, her name is Lyric, and shout out to her. She's amazing. Her and her friend Bridget on getting this property set up and doing everything they could to get it all ready to go. But there was some issues that were kind of out of our control. It was we had a brand new AC unit put in there. No one's even lived in it, and it wasn't working when this person came in, and it was, I don't know it was 100. I think it was supposed to be close to 100 degrees this week. So it was a travel nurse. She came in and it was just super hot, uncomfortable, and just, on top of that, there was a few other things too, but that was the big one.
Yeah.
And it turns out the installation company didn't install the lines correctly, and the Freon leaked out, and so it was just blowing hot air, and so it was an installation issue, which really sucks because it was nothing that we could have done, nothing that we did wrong.
Yeah.
These girls had it all set up and did a really great job doing everything in our power to make this work. But ultimately ended up refunding the guest. Just gave her the option, like, hey, like, I even offered to let her stay for free until we had all this fixed. But she opted to just get a refund and part ways. And she was very appreciative of everything that we did and trying to get it set up, and recognize that, we were trying to make our best effort to have this set up for her. And unfortunately, it just wasn't up to our normal standard that we would normally have set up and ready for somebody. It wasn't a good initial experience. And so I feel really bad about that. But
do you think do you think the distance played a big role?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, if we were there, I would have been there till 4 a.m, making sure everything was done and figuring out the AC. I would have jumped in myself. And, it's nothing against the people we had working on our team to get this set up, because it's just, I don't expect them to do that. And there's certain things that they may not know, and they did everything they could. But, the AC company, and it was a holiday weekend. So, I had the work order in last week with the property management. They didn't get in till Monday, today, this morning. And so they there was nothing that could get done before this person was coming in to figure out the AC situation. So it was just an unfortunate situation because we did have it all set up and everything was
they did
pretty
a great
good.
job setting it up. It looked really good.
There's a few things that we ordered. Somebody ordered a trash can that they thought was a kitchen trash can, but ordered the mini size.
Do this all the time on Amazon. The number of times I've ordered vases.
The pictures look, they're kind of deceiving, so you've got to look at the dimensions.
It's so frustrating.
She ordered a kitchen trash can, and it shows up and it's 11.8 inches tall.
So
the guest even commented, like, there's no kitchen trash can. There's only a trash can in the bathroom that's only like, a foot tall. I'm like, yeah, that was supposed to be the kitchen one, but we ordered the wrong size.
So bad. Done that with vases too, and they've come in and they're like literally miniature vases. And Amazon can be great for so many things, but not.
You got to look at the dimensions. I forgot a microwave out of everything that I ordered. All the appliances, all the everything, all the furniture, and I
added an espresso, but no microwave.
Yeah. So that was a little bit of, I guess it was a little bit of on us too, but that's okay. I mean, we're not gonna. I mean, it was a little discouraging, but we'll just take our losses, move on, and get it fully ready for the next person. Make sure the AC is working good, and all these last little minute things are done. The internet wasn't even installed because I couldn't get the T-Mobile internet that we normally use. Wasn't available at that address, and usually you set that up yourself. Had to end up going with AT&T because T-Mobile didn't have it at that address yet, and so now we gotta set up for a technician to come out and do it the old school way. And so it was just all these things were just going against us. Also trying to order last minute stuff. Usually I can get Amazon to deliver in 2 days or next day, sometimes same day. But this is in Wichita Falls and
not as close to a facility.
Not as close to their facility is probably coming out of Dallas. They probably don't have their own facility. We got 3 facilities around us. And so they don't Prime is not even 2 days. It's 3 or 4 days. So trying to get stuff there was a little bit difficult. I mean, the girls were even going out last minute before this guest checked in. They were running to Walmart and grabbing towels because we the sheets didn't show up on time and towels and things like that. So they were trying to get everything ready. And so big thank you to Lyric and Bridget for giving all their efforts. I know Lyric does listen to the show. So thank you for everything you did and giving your best effort, but we'll get it right on the next one.
Absolutely.
So that's a little update on that. So with the apartment complex, we've been having a lot of problems with trying to get this thing filled. Property management has had this property for about 1.5 years and just, I think they've gotten 4 tenants for us. Not that it's their fault, not that it's not their fault. I don't really know, but it's not getting filled. So kind of taking things into our own hands. I've been calling around, trying to work something out with the hospital, trying to work something out with the local Air Force base. Just saying, hey, I'm willing to set these up as furnished rentals. This is our first one that we're setting up. So I think once we have one, it'll be easier to start getting these. We'll have a proof concept. We'll have actual pictures. I had some Photoshop pictures that didn't look very good, but was getting, had the listing set up that way. So we've got actual furniture in one. It's ready to go. I think the plan will be to get this one rented and then take another one and convert it and just start slowly converting these to midterm rentals because we know that market and do pretty well with it. So we might as well just try to replicate that in this building, and it'll be higher rents and better occupancy and better quality tenants in there. Yeah. So we'll see how that goes, and hopefully that plays out positively.
I agree.
So that's pretty much what we've been going through.
Hence why I've been a little MIA.
Yeah, it's just trying to find time to do this is very difficult.
And just, like I keep saying.
And we have a newborn too, so we're not doing interviews right now because we're up at all times of the night and we're still kind of in that
There is no schedule, so it's just on demand. Feeding, sleeping, you think you're on a schedule, then that changes the next day. So
so hopefully later this month or next month we'll get back and start getting the interviews on the schedule again and start getting people rotated through because we had several lined up that we kind of had to put on hold for now.
And once we hopefully get a little bit more settled here.
Yeah, it won't be just set up in the living room and sprawled out everywhere. We'll have an actual studio.
Well, we lost our
setup.
podcast couch. We definitely lost our podcast space.
We still have it, so if anybody wants needs a nice couch, we still don't know where to put it. It's too big.
Orange County area. Yeah, we lost our official space for it too. So
yeah.
Yes, just hope we get settled quickly, because that is something, as probably any mom especially knows, your quote unquote office is the home, and when that is not usable, not that it's not usable, when it's not at its what's the word I'm looking for?
Peak? I don't know.
Yeah, I guess peak would work. It's just we're not performing. We don't have a lot of systems in place. We have no organization right now. We are just like trying to get dressed in the morning is looking through boxes, trying to find things, and we are just a hot mess. That's for sure. We are a hot mess.
At least we're hot.
Yeah. Like, we're tired. It's been moving is not for the faint of heart, for sure. Especially adding everything else in.
But that's how we do it, and hopefully we'll be settling down to where we're not doing this. In the next house that we buy to do this type of project, we won't have to move into it.
I sure hope so.
Yeah.
I also told him we should not be moving again until we can have movers, because even with this house being, have you actually timed it? It's like 3 minutes, right?
It's pretty close. Yeah, we only moved about 3 minutes away.
Yeah. So it's close. But as many trips as you can do throughout the day, there's always that one big final push. And I'm at the point where we've moved. So I was trying to count how many times we've moved.
We've moved 5 times in the last 13 months.
5?
Yeah, 5 times in 13 months.
Since April of last year, right?
Since April, yeah. Well, the end of April, yeah.
End of April,
It was May 1st, I guess. So, yeah, it was 5 times.
Yes, 5 times. I don't recommend that. That's where I was saying we've also been in that house for less than a year, because we didn't even, we were in there, end of June last year for 6 weeks.
Yeah, 6 weeks.
And then out for like 6 weeks.
Yeah, it flooded, so we had to move back out.
6 or 8 weeks.
We were gone for probably 2 months, and then we were able to come back. And then,
so we were officially back, I think, sometime.
And then under construction the whole time.
Yeah. So like 7-ish months we were there.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, and if you're interested in seeing what this house looks like, we'll post in the show notes just a link to the listing, because it's a beautiful home. We did a good job.
We did. Kind of makes it harder to leave.
Yeah, but we do these midterm rentals, and so we may be able to use the property between bookings if it's available. We can host some things, and might be kind of fun because it is an entertaining home. So
yeah, definitely.
Hopefully we'll be able to utilize it here and there. Be nice.
Yeah, did a really good job on that one. Proud of that one.
Yeah. All right, so that's basically what's going on with us. That's our big update. We'll be looking to move forward. We're building out our co-host business, which is funny because this was not something we had intended on doing, but with these midterm rentals that we started doing, a side product, I guess, of learning how to do that is that now we have this co-hosting business, and we're starting to get more and more referrals and more people getting set up on this, and it's starting to take off. And I really think by the end of the year, our co-hosting business is going to be our main source of income. The printing company will come back around, but it's taken on debt and it's not spinning off much right now. So it's going to take a while for that to kind of get stabilized again. At some point I'm going to want to exit that anyway, because that's a lot of work during the week. It's a lot of hands-on work, and I'm trying to figure out how to remove myself from that.
In-person work.
Yeah. At least with the co-hosting, it's more remote work. We still have the turnovers and things we have to do, but a lot of the work is more marketing and dealing with inquiries and networking on finding leads. So it's a little easier to do on the go and just from kind of remotely. So I think that could end up being our main source of income very soon, just because of the way it's going and how we can integrate it into it's just a second job. It's not a full-time job.
Yeah.
It does take up time. It definitely takes up time. And we get calls at 1:00 in the morning sometimes that we have to deal with. That's just part of managing a property, but it is what it is. And it's not, we're not sitting at a desk for 40 hours a week to manage that. And I think that's going to be a really good source of income for us.
Yeah, so too. Excited about that one.
Yeah. All right. I think that's a good update for today.
Yeah.
It's getting late as usual.
I know. We're even down 2 kids while we're recording this.
That's why we were able to record, because we only have 2 of our kids tonight.
My parents have our 2 older ones and still got started a lot later than we had anticipated, but trying to keep this going.
Yeah. Well. All right. Anything else?
I think that's it.
Yeah. All right. If you know anybody that might be a good guest on the show, we are going to start taking these interviews and getting these on the schedule for probably next month. So, reach out. I'd love to hear your story, see if you're a good fit, and then kind of see when we can work you on the schedule. And as always, if you know somebody that could benefit from the show, if you're finding value in it and you know somebody else that might find value, please, share it with them and reviews. We'd love to get some reviews and hear what people have to say about the show. Just don't beat us up too bad.
Yeah. If you have feedback, email us or send us a DM on Instagram.
If you have something bad to say, just say it to our face.
Yeah, absolutely. We can handle it.
Yeah. All right. That's it for tonight. Get out there and make it happen.
Thanks for listening. This has been a production of Rebuilding the Dream Studios.